Up to bat, number 27, Josiah Smith.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Sebring as we get the third game of the day underway. It is Marianna taking on West Seminole. Big ball game for both squads. Both teams have lost earlier today. Marianna to Lake Placid, West Seminole to South Sumter. Josiah Smith laying down the bunt, and just like that, West Seminole gets a base runner on. So some strategy over the course of the last hour or so in between ball games. West Seminole did not get a base runner in 4 innings of play against South Sumter. They go to the strategy session, and Josiah Smith lays down a bunt to begin the first, and just like that, first guy is aboard. Let's get that lineup set for you for West Seminole. There in the red, white, and blue, Josiah Smith, the shortstop, batting first. He is now at first. Cameron Wilson is the pitcher in the 2 spot. Wyatt Christopher playing third, will bat third. Catcher Chase Davidson in the 4 spot. Michael Hamburg is the first baseman, batting fifth. Kingston Livernois is the second baseman in the 6 spot. Left fielder Carson DeMoore's got the 7 spot. Kellen Gentili is the center fielder, batting 8th. Nick Norris will play the 9 spot. Tanner DeMoore is the right center fielder, batting 10th. Popped up behind the plate, and not sure where it is, Jackson Kent. He will drop in foul territory, and the Wilson at-bat will continue. Austin Vincent batting 11th. Vincent Fava is the right fielder in the 12 hole for West Seminole. Marianna's got Jordan Broxton in the circle beside the pitching machine. Did an excellent job in their loss this morning against Lake Placid. Very strong defender there on the mound beside the machine. Jackson Kent behind the plate. And first you'll find Bryce Mitchell. It is rolled slowly towards second. Knocked down by Castleberry. Over to first goes the throw. It will not get the out, and coming in to score is Josiah Smith. So this West Seminole squad that struggled a bit against South Sumter already got a run on the board in this one, as Cameron Wilson stands over at first and Smith comes in to score. Wyatt Christopher moving to the on-deck circle. The rest of the Marianna defense, I mentioned Bryce Mitchell at first. Cooper Castleberry is the second baseman. At shortstop, Luke Thomas. Ben Proctor is at third. In the outfield, Landon Cornelius in left. The center fielder is Keaton Foster. Right field belongs to Stephen Stewart. Right center is Trayshawn Collins. So there you have it. 2 teams, by the way, that if you are familiar with either, you're familiar with the colors. Red, white, and blue for West Seminole, and the purple, yellow, and white, with a little black splashed in from Marianna. Wrapped over towards short. Knocked down by Thomas. Picks up, fires over to first. Won't be able to get the out. Headed towards third is Wilson. He will be there safely. And Wyatt Christopher winds up at second. So West Seminole, looking to make amends after that 25-zip loss to South Sumter, have come out with guns blazing. Smith, Wilson, and Christopher all get on. And Chase Davidson will come to the plate with 2 aboard, both in scoring position here in the top part of the first. And our apologies for the lack of scoreboard. Our software, I have learned it's an update matter that is going to take some time, as in days, to be able to get the software in place. So tomorrow, I'll try to bring in another unit and be able to get you the scoreboard on the board as well. Meantime, I'll just have to keep you updated. Chase Davidson, 1-0 ball game. West Seminole, couple of base runners on. Swing and a miss by Davidson. Good to see Davidson starting behind the plate. He started the opening game, and then in one of those very long innings, had to come out and get hydrated. So good to see, no problems, and he's back where he needs to be. Behind home plate defensively, in the box here offensively. Got a feel for these youngsters. I took the probably 75-foot trip to the van and back, so that's 150 feet out in the heat, and it's tough. I learned quickly that I prefer it up here in the box. Swing and a miss by Davidson, and he will go down. First out for West Seminole here in the top of the first. It is warm, temperatures 90 plus. And the heat index into triple digits. There was a time period in years gone by where Dixie Youth Baseball played with the idea and implemented it for a bit of a heat break right in the middle of the game. But I think it was determined that they were better served in hydrating the youngsters in the dugout, and that really the heat break didn't do a whole lot in keeping you cool. Swing and a miss by Michael Hamburg. So now the process is just play the game, but get them hydrated, keep them hydrated while in the dugout. One away, two aboard, one in. Michael Hamburg, the left-hander, awaits. Well, by now, if you've been watching throughout the course of the day, you probably know many of the regulations where play is concerned. It's 6 innings, unless somebody's got a 15-run lead after 3 or 10 after 4. And that's got a asterisk by it, as Hamburg will roll it over towards first. Scooped up by Mitchell. And let's see, again, that's in that area where it's difficult to see, but it looks like there is an out. So apparently Hamburg, oh, I see him now standing. He is safe. So Hamburg is safe, and the runner Wilson comes in and scores. To third goes Christopher. And West Seminole now with a 2-zip lead. Again, your camera view actually gives you a little better view of the field than where I am situated. So plays to the right side, difficult to spot. We kind of have to wait on officials. Throw goes to second, is high to get Hamburg. Christopher will come in from third. And West Seminole building a 3-0 lead. Kingston Livernois batting. Carson DeMoore moving to the on-deck circle. Three-zip advantage in the first. Solid shot up the middle. Broxton knocks it down with the body. Picks up, fires over to first. He'll get it there in time to get the out of Livernois. Meanwhile, Hamburg goes to third, puts on the brakes, does the U-turn, and gets back to third. Automatically, as a broadcaster, you kind of just, without consciously, you subconsciously start liking a particular athlete. One of them, Jordan Broxton. He is a tough little player in the middle of things for Marianna. If he doesn't feel clean, he keeps it in front of him, able to fire over to first in this instance and get Livernois on the 1-3 putout. 3-zip lead. West Seminole's got a base runner at third. That is Hamburg as Carson DeMoore bats. Kellen Gentili moving to the on-deck circle. Everybody busy as we speak. Mike Rideout, Justin Alm, Anthony Crum, all providing coverage. 4 fields being used here in Florida. Of course, the first of 3 different sites, 5 different state tournaments. T-ball and majors next weekend in East Lakeland. The AAA and O-Zone the following week up in Marianna. Carson DeMoore with a base runner at third. That is Hamburg. It is a 3-0 West Seminole lead. Game 2 for both teams. Rolled slowly towards second. Castleberry will field, go over to first, and get the out of DeMoore on the 4-3. 1 base runner stranded, 3 come in and score. West Seminole takes a 3-0 advantage into the bottom part of the first.
Southern to serve to begin this return. He's got running room. Infield kicks it in. 40. Got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone.
Right here on top. Top of the order in the bottom of the first, 3-0 advantage. West Seminole. Marianna will send Keaton Foster to the plate first, the center fielder, leading things off. Pitcher Jordan Broxton batting in the 2 spot. Cooper Castleberry is the second baseman batting third. Luke Thomas, the shortstop's got the 4 spot. Steven Stewart playing right will bat 5th. Ben Proctor, the third baseman in the 6 hole. Bryce Mitchell playing first has the 7 spot. Jackson Kent, he is the catcher batting 8th. The left fielder Landon Cornelius in the 9 spot. Tyler White will bat 10th. Garrison Mitchell 11th. And right center fielder Trayshawn Collins in that 12 hole. 3-0 advantage, West Seminole. After Smith Wilson and Christopher all score in the top part of the inning. Taking a look at that West Seminole defense. Cameron Wilson in the circle beside the pitching machine. Chase Davidson behind the plate. Michael Hamburg at first. Kingston Livernois is the second baseman. At shortstop, Josiah Smith. Third belongs to Wyatt Christopher in the outfield. Carson DeMore in left. Kellen Gentile is in center field. Right, Vincent Fava. And Tanner DeMore is in right center. Keaton Foster drives it into center field. That'll be a Marianna base hit. And Marianna with a base runner aboard for Jordan Broxton. Cooper Castleberry moves to the on-deck circle. Jordan Broxton batted in the 6th spot in the opening game, moved to the 2 hole here in game number 2. Hey, by the way, trying to grow our Facebook numbers, and I see that they have grown during the day, not necessarily exponentially, but we're picking up steam, trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the summer. But heck, if we got to 10 grand by the end of the day, you wouldn't hear me gripe. Go to Facebook, put JockJive Sports in the search engine. As the toss gets beyond Davidson, and Foster will wind up at second. JockJive Sports in the search engine on Facebook. If you do it on Twitter, at JockJive. And we will keep you updated on everything that we are doing. All scores from games wrapped up today already posted. If there are, and we are hoping there won't be, but if there are weather delays, you get that kind of information. Why we're not playing, when we will play. And the schedule of the stuff that we do. All on Facebook, all on Twitter. Solid shot by Broxton. That will drop over Kingston Livernois, who is backtracking. Meanwhile, given the green light, Foster, he will wind up home. Broxton safely at first with an RBI single. It's a 3-1 West Seminole lead.
Now at the bat, number 16, Cooper Castleberry.
Cooper Castleberry coming to the plate. By the way, got to say hats off to our stellar crew here in the box. Keeping score, doing the PA. I mean, these guys are on top of their game. I'm not, so they kind of keep me, on the straight and narrow. So appreciate the job these youngsters are doing. Cooper Castleberry. Left-hander, thought about it, lays off of it, drops out of the mid of Davidson. And Broxton will make his way to second. So a runner at second. Cooper Castleberry with an opportunity to drive in the second run of the game for Marianna. Umbrellas out, but not because of rain. Trying to shield their holders from the sunshine. And it is a warm afternoon here in Sebring. Swing and a miss by Castleberry. By the way, we are staying, at least part of the JockJive crew, at the Chateau Elan. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I am a redneck, so it'd just be Chateau Elan. But I think it's probably got a more sophisticated name, but a great place to stay if you're here in the Sebring area or planning to come to the Sebring area, right by the Speedway, right by the airport. Great prices, great staff. Don't think that you could ask for much more. Found out a play by Cooper Castleberry. So win in Sebring, whether it's this weekend or some other weekend. Check it out. Luke Thomas moves to the on-deck circle. Broxton, the base runner, at second. One in. It's a 3-1 West Seminole lead over Marianna here in the bottom of the first. Opening game had well, not the opening. It was the second game of the day that had the very long first inning. Just about a 25-minute first inning. This one's got some length to it, too. We are 18 minutes in, and nobody's gone in the bottom part of the inning. Popped up on the infield from third to make the catch is Wyatt Christopher. And there's one away.
Now at the bat, number 27, Luke Thomas.
By the way, we'll open up the shout-out lines in a bit. Probably about the third, give you a chance from the third through the end of the game to say hello to a player, motivate them, cheer them on, or maybe say hi to somebody watching elsewhere. Let me go ahead and give you the number. Jot it down if you haven't already, 334-488. And that obviously is fouled back this direction, darn near a field mic. 334-488-1385. 334-488-1385. We'll get to your shout-outs probably about the third inning. Sent towards second, took a bit of an odd hop on Livernois, but he's able to go over to first and get Luke Thomas on the 4-3. That's got Jordan Broxton to third.
Now at the bat, number 20.
Two gone.
Stewart.
At third is Broxton for Stephen Stewart. Ben Proctor moves to the on-deck circle. Rolled foul over to the right side by Stewart. Busy summer and really year for us. Of course, summer focused on youth sports. Florida and Alabama Dixie Youth. World Series for Dixie Youth. World Series for Dixie Baseball. We'll do the Babe Ruth World Series out in Washington State. Then you get into the fall and you get into a ton of stuff. Fouled this time to the left side by Stewart. We'll be working with the SWAC, the ACCC, Tuskegee, Georgia Military College, GCAA, Great American Rivalries. Might have some info that would interest you people in Marianna, too. We'll kind of keep that under wraps currently, but could be of interest to Bulldog fans. Swing and a miss by Stewart. Out goes Stewart, left on is Broxton. One comes in and scores. It's a 3-1 West Seminole lead as we head to the second.
Infield, kicks it in, 40, got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone.
Watch right here on JockJive.com.
We head to the top of the second. Kellen Gentile will start things off for West Seminole. A 3-1 West Seminole lead. We head into the second inning. Nick Norris, Tanner DeMoore to follow Kellen Gentile. If you're keeping up with time, 23 minutes in. 1 hour, 30 minutes of baseball, unless, of course, the game that preceded, the game between West Seminole and South Sumter, went beyond that 90 minutes because we needed to get every West Seminole player an at-bat. And it took into the fourth to do that. Kellen Gentile, right-hander, steps in to begin things in the second for West Seminole. One more game to go over here on Field 4, Elks Field, Lake Placid, South Sumter. Slated for a 4 o'clock start. We will see if they get that game underway at 4. Keeping an eye on the weather, too. iPhone weather app earlier said the possibility of showers. Still saying around 5 o'clock, maybe some rain. As I mentioned previously, we are perfectly content with rain between 9 p.m. and about 6 a.m. Otherwise, sure would like for that stuff to hold off. 92 currently in Sebring, feels like 100. West-southwest winds at 6, humidity at 50%. Sun slated to set at 8:25. Gentile rolling it towards second. Castleberry able to get it there in time. And now we'll go Gentile on the 4-3 putout. 1 out of the second for Nick Norris.
Number 2, Nick Norris.
Tanner DeMoore moves to the on-deck circle. Well, I've given you the rest of the weather stuff. Might as well give you the rest. Barometric pressure at 3010. Visibility 10 miles. UV index 11. So if you're outside watching the game, whether here or elsewhere, protect yourself. Socked in the direction of left field. That will bounce in as a base hit and then bobble over the head of Landon Cornelius. On with a single of the one-out variety is Nick Norris.
Now at the bat, number 3.
Tanner DeMoore coming to the plate. Norris, the base runner at first, 1 away for West Seminole. They scored 3 in the first. Looking to plate runs here in the second. Well, had a look at the tiebreaker. If teams are vying to get into the top 2 and are tied, base runner takes off. That swatting tie. Wow, almost got him. Luke Thomas took the throw from Jackson Kent and almost, with that sweeping tag attempt, got Norris. But Norris able to get in safely at second, now in scoring position for Tanner DeMoore. Late break for third by Norris, but the throw from Kent winds up in left field. Norris will come in and score. And West Seminole gets that run back they gave up in the bottom of the first. Now a 3-run lead again for West Seminole, 4-1. Tanner DeMoore, Ben Proctor being tended to, apparently got popped somewhere in the shin area on that trip to third by Nick Norris. And Ben Proctor talking with coach / medical trainer. And they're looking at that left foot. I think it's okay, but Proctor just trying to walk it off. These are little warriors, though. I mean, they're not the kind of guys that want to come off the field unless there's some real immense pain. And Ben Proctor headed towards the dugout and then realized, you know what, Coach? This is a state tournament. It's time to do battle. He's walking it off, going, keep me in, coach. So Ben Proctor will shake it off. He will stay over at third. Like the show of sportsmanship, West Seminole's coach over to give him a high five as well. So Ben Proctor will stay in the lineup over at third, shakes off the injury. Nick Norris comes in and scores. It's a 4-1 game, West Seminole. Tanner DeMore with Austin Vincent to follow. It is rolled foul by DeMore. West Seminole was not able to pick up a base hit in the opening game. They got 4 base hits in the opening inning of this one. So certainly a different look to this West Seminole squad in this one as compared to the bout against South Sumter. Top of the second, 4-1 West Seminole lead. Swing and a miss by DeMore, and he's out number 2. 2 gone for Austin Vincent. Vincent Fava moving to the on-deck circle.
Now to bat number 21, Austin Vincent.
West Seminole scoring in the first, scoring in the second. A 3-run lead again. With 2 away and the bases cleared for Austin Vincent. Bottom of the second, Ben Proctor, Bryce Mitchell, Jackson Kent all coming to the plate. Swing and a miss by Vincent. Gentile wrapped into the 4-3. Norris, single, steals second. Comes in during a passed ball in the Tanner DeMore at bat. DeMore strikes out. And now with 2 away, Austin Vincent is batting. Scores from earlier today in Pool 1, Lake Placid 11-4 over Marianna. South Sumter beats West Seminole 25-zip. Pool 2, Sebring 14-zip over West Volusia. Bartow nips Spring Hill American 8-6. No swing on the pitch. Here's the 5th one. Meanwhile, in the B division, Fort Meade 12-5 over Shalimar. Port St. Joe beats Liberty County 13-5. Franklin County a 7-5 victory over Holmes County. Port St. Joe blanks Fort Meade 5-0. Well, a swing and a miss by Austin Vincent brings it into the top of the second. 1-run plates. It's a 4-1 lead. It belongs to West Seminole as we go to the Marianna second.
Midfield kicks it in, 40, got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone.
One right here on JockJive.com.
We head to the bottom of the second. Ben Proctor starting things off. Bryce Mitchell, Jackson Kent due up in the Marianna second as well. A 4-1 West Seminole lead.
Ben Proctor.
West Seminole 3 runs in the first, plated a run in the second. Marianna batting here in the bottom part of the second. Warm afternoon in Sebring. Florida State tournament's underway. And a delight again for us to be working with Tony Smith, and Brian Cox, and all the people with Florida Dixie Youth that are committed year in, year out to making the leagues and these all-star events happen. And now there is time, and let's see if it is for the purpose of adjusting the machine, and based on the fact that the Marianna coach has given it the eagle eye, I would say there is some concern with where the machine is currently pitching. And it is a little bit tall and a little inside. And let's see if the appropriate adjustments are made to get it back on track. Well, while they do that, it gives us an opportunity to do this. It may come as a surprise to you how affordable it is to have JockJive Sports provide coverage of your sporting event or sports team with quality streaming, offering a national and international platform to show off your school or sport. We produce everything from youth sports to the NCAA Division I, literally from every part of the country. Last year we worked in Miami, we worked in Washington State, and all points in between. We were in New York City a couple of weeks ago. Just all points in between. Tiny venues or large. We've worked them all. Big budgets or small ones. Me and a camera or the whole 9 yards. Contact info@jockjive.com. Info@jockjive.com to get information as to how we just might be able to work with whatever you got to work with. Adjustments made. Ben Proctor back into the box. Bryce Mitchell, Jackson Kent to follow. Fouled back, and though there is a chain link fence, it is still natural tendencies of somebody behind the screen to duck away. And that's what I think one of the West Seminole parents did, just ducked as that baseball headed their direction. You can tell yourself there's a chain link fence in front of you all day long, but that little white baseball head high to your facial area, then chances are you're going to move. Wrapped over towards short. Fielded nicely by Thomas. Goes over to first. Or actually make that Smith that fields. Goes over to first, but that will get away from first baseman Michael Hamburg. Well, Smith did a nice job of fielding, able to grab it on the one high. But Ben Proctor will wind up at second. And Marianna's got a base runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the second for Bryce Mitchell. Inside toss. Norris now catching, by the way, for West Seminole. And I think probably in that opening game when you had both Davidson get overheated and then Wilson get overheated, West Seminole has decided to go into this alternating catchers routine, which probably isn't a bad idea, keeping fresh legs behind the plate. Swing and a miss by Bryce Mitchell. Jackson Kent to the on-deck circle. Well, when Marianna and South Sumter play, for someone that is easily confused, I might get confused. They've got Bryce Mitchell for Marianna and Bryson Mitchell for South Sumter. Those two teams, they won't play until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Fouled out of play again by Mitchell. Jackson Kent on deck, nobody gone. 4-1 West Seminole lead here in the bottom of the second. Mitchell awaits. Sock towards Smith. Scoops it up. Throw goes over to first, and it's there for the out of Bryce Mitchell. 6-3. Proctor will go to third. One away for Jackson Kent.
Now the bat, number 25, Jackson Kent.
Landon Cornelius moves to the on-deck circle. A little bit of cloud coverage. Nothing that looks particularly ominous. Not yet, anyway. And maybe even actually making things a little more bearable for fans and players as it's fouled out of play by Jackson Kent. A little cloud coverage on a hot summer afternoon. Never hurt nobody. Ball back over to Coach. Coach ready to place it into the machine. Awaiting the toss is Jackson Kent. Bottom of the second, 4-1 score, but a base runner at third. That is Ben Proctor. Proctor, the right-hander, bangs the stick on the dish, now ready for the toss. Swings, misses. Two-strike count on Jackson Kent. Kent in today's opening game, 1 for 2. Drives this one towards left field. That's a base hit that brings in Ben Proctor. Throw gets in quickly. Kent limited to 1, but he's got an RBI that makes it a 4-2 game. Here comes Landon Cornelius. Tyler White moving to the on-deck circle. Field 4, Elks Field, here at the Sebring Complex. Swing and a miss. I actually, despite the fact I live in Alabama, have a Sebring tie. My niece's father was a Sebring native. I say was, he passed away some years back, but so do have a tie to this part of the state. Well, apparently the heat has taken its toll, and right in the middle of the inning, Vincent Fava has trotted back onto the moving to the on-deck circle. 4-2 contest. Base runner at second is Jackson Kent. Swing and a miss by White. Garrison Mitchell moving to the on-deck circle here in the bottom of the second. No swing on the pitch, no runner advancing. Kent stays put at second. Norris will just about hand deliver the baseball to Wilson to make sure that Kent stays put on bag number 2. Fouled back out of play. Tyler White batting here in the bottom of the second. When you get to the third, it's the bottom of the order due up for West Seminole, Vincent Fava. And in the top of the order, Josiah Smith, Cameron Wilson coming to the plate. Two gone. Wilson handing the ball over to Coach. Norris getting behind home plate. Into the box steps Tyler White. And here's the pitch. Foul out of play again. You know, a contest between West Seminole and South Sumter, that really is kind of what set the tone. Was a litany of fouled off pitches by the leadoff hitter for South Sumter, Tyson Lake. And it just became a longer game from there on. Right now we've hit the 50-minute mark. Chopped over into left field. The Tyler White base hit. Going to third is Jackson Kent. He's told to hold there. Tyler White with a single is at first. Runners on the corners for Garrison Mitchell. And now the throw to second designed to get White. Allows Kent to come in and score. It's a one-run game. White will wind up at third, and now Marianna 60 feet away from knotting this one up at 4 each.
Now the bat, number 10, Garrison Mitchell.
Garrison Mitchell coming to the plate. Couple of unbeaten teams so far. Lake Placid and South Sumter. They will play one another at 4. Couple of once beaten teams, West Seminole and Marianna, battling it out now. Big cut, no contact from Mitchell. Obviously, only one team wraps up pool play, possibly 3-0. So there will likely be a tie for either first or second as Mitchell again swings and misses. If you finished with a 3-0, a 2-1, and a 1-2 or an 0-3, then you've got a clear-cut 1-2 spots. Toss gets away from Norris, retrieving at the screen. Norris, but White able to slide in underneath the tag, coming home to tie it at 4. And Marianna right back into this game, knotted up at 4 each with a 3-run second. Mitchell able to, nope, did not get a piece of it. Swings, misses, out goes Mitchell. But Marianna plates the 3 runs necessary to knot this one up at 4. We go to the third, 4 apiece on JockJive.com.
Southern to serve to begin this one. He's got running room. Infield kicks it in. 40. Got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone.
One right here on JockJive.com.
Mosley. Now with 20 in the game. She's been the head coach. But she's done her part for the season.
number 23, Vincent Father.
We head to the top of the third, bottom of the order. Vincent Fava starting things off for West Seminole, tied at 4 each. Marianna with a big bottom of the second, plating a total of 3 runs. And now have knotted it up at 4. For West Seminole, a couple of runs make that 3 runs played in the first, 1 run plates in the second. For Marianna, 1 in the first, 3 in the second. Tied up at 4 each. And now we've got pitch machine issues again. So that pitching machine being a little cantankerous out there in the heat. And we'll have an adjustment of the pitch machine before we resume action. And coming up in July on JockJive.com, Florida and Alabama DYB. Dixie Youth Baseball World Series events, Dixie Baseball State Tournaments and World Series, and so much more. Plus, this fall, SWAC football, soccer, volleyball, Tuskegee football, Georgia Military College football, Great American Rivalries, high school football, ACCC Game of the Week, GCAA Game of the Week, a good possibility, and a whole lot more. So if you are into sports, you need your sports, and you need it often, and you need it whenever you need it, on demand, then JockJive.com, JockJive.com. We'll fix you up. A lot of the stuff we do, too, is on Roku. So if you have a Roku device, well, check it out there. Josiah Smith will follow Vincent Fava. Fava leading off the third, and then Cameron Wilson due up in the inning, too. As we get inning number 3 underway. And we're just shy of the 1 hour mark. Just about an hour of baseball in this one. Tied up at 4 in the third. Clouds creating maybe a little bit of a break in the sun, the heat. As Fava waits. Swing and a miss. And Fava will start the third, a strikeout victim. 1 out as we go back to the top of the order. Josiah Smith next. Smith with a single and a run scored in the first. Batting here in the third with 1 away and nobody aboard. Cameron Wilson moves to the on-deck circle. Just about 550 some odd youth sport games coming your way before we wrap up our summer of youth sports. Most of it Dixie, got some Babe Ruth mixed in as well. Got some Dixie baseball, and obviously lots of Dixie youth baseball. No swing on the pitch to Smith. Swing and a miss. Coach, a little directions, moving Josiah Smith closer to the plate. Ball and machine and trying to bunt his way aboard of Smith. It is fouled off and now a 2-strike count. Four apiece in the third. 1 away, nobody on. Smith awaits. And now I think there may be some question mark as to how many pitches, how many strikes there were on Josiah Smith. And now Smith will get back in. Well, if it was fouled off, bunt style by Smith on a 2-strike count, you're done. But it was a 1-strike count when he fouled it off. And now it's a 2-strike count on Josiah Smith. That's 4 of your complement of 5. And this one, Smith's got to go after. He does. Comes up empty, 2 gone.
Now at the bat, number 14.
Well, we're in the third.
Cameron
Let's open
Wilson.
up the telephone lines to shout-outs. Now, these got to be texted shout-outs, not phoned in. Love to be able to talk, but can't during game coverage. So, text me, 334-488-1385. 334-488-1385. All right, there's some criteria, by the way, in the shout-out. Here's what we're looking for. Obviously, got to cheer on a team or a team member. Then let us know where you are watching from. What part of the state, what part of the country. And if it's kind of unique. And these days, unique can fit any number of categories. If you're on the lake, if you're on the Gulf, if you're on the Atlantic, you're in the bowling alley, you name it, that kind of stuff. Put that on there too. Rolled slowly towards Castleberry. He will go over to first, get Cameron Wilson on the 4-3 putout. And West Seminole goes 1-2-3 in the top of the third. We head to the bottom of the inning, tied at 4, Marianna and West Seminole.
Southern to serve to begin this one. He's got running room. Infield kicks it in. 40. Got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone.
Watch right here on JockJive.com.
Mosley. Now it's play of the game. Well, she's been the head coach, but she's done her part for the season.
Am I good on subs? Am I good? I just want to make sure.
We head to the bottom of the third, bottom of the order. Trayshawn Collins starting things off from Marianna. Keaton Foster, Jordan Broxton due up in the inning, too. All knotted up at 4 each. West Seminole and Marianna. Shout-outs. Send them to 334-488-1385. 334-488-1385. And here's how you doing. Let's go West Seminole and Vincent Fava from Grace and Will DeVinny. West Seminole alumni. I remember the name DeVinny in some of the years gone by for West Seminole. Thanks so much to the DeVinnies for the shout-out. 334-488-1385. To let us know who you're rooting for and where you're rooting from. Trayshawn Collins starting off the third. Pops it up on the infield. Smith trying to get underneath it, cannot. And it turns into a Trayshawn Collins infield single to begin the third for Marianna.
Now at the bat, number 95.
Marianna trying to grab their first lead of the game here in the bottom of the third. No swing on the pitch. Runner takes off. That is Collins. And Collins was thinking second was first. He just ran past it like you do down at first and then thought, wait a minute, wrong bag. Back he goes to second. Safely there for Keaton Foster. Foster with a single and a run scored in the first. Jordan Broxton moves to the on-deck circle. Foster will wrap it towards Smith at short. Over Smith's head into center field. To third goes Collins. He's told to go on home. Meanwhile, Foster will stay put at first. Collins will score, and Marianna will get their first lead of the game. A 5-4 Marianna lead here in the third.
Now up to bat, number 0, Jordan Braxton.
Jordan Braxton to the plate. Braxton is single, driven in a run. Cooper Castleberry to the on-deck circle. Runner goes, and he's safely at second. That is Keaton Foster. So Marianna with nobody out, batting here in the bottom of the third. In a lengthy contest. We are sitting on about an hour 8. Again to Smith. Nice job of fielding by Smith. Over to first with a throw. It won't be in time. Safely at first is Broxton. Going to third, Foster. And runners on the corners for Marianna.
Now at bat, number 16, Cooper Castleberry.
Cooper Castleberry to the plate. He popped out to third. Was the first out in the first inning. One more game to go on this field, and then it's baseball tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., day number 2 of the tournament. Shout out to Landon Cornelius of Marianna from Grandma and Grandpa in Monument, Colorado. We're proud of you, love you. Well, thank you very much for the shout out from Colorado, one of my favorite spots to be. I'm not sure where Monument is. Spend a lot of time in Avon and on, I think that's 70 between Denver and Grand Junction. But great to have Monument, Colorado. Watching the coverage, and the shout out going out to Landon Cornelius. Cornelius a few at-bats away from seeing him at the plate. Castleberry fouling off another. Luke Thomas moves to the on-deck circle. Base runners on, both in scoring position. Foster at third, Broxton at second. 334-488-1385 to send shout-outs. Shout-out to Carson and Tanner DeMoore from Nana, Papa, and Peepaw in Apopka, Florida. Go Patriots. Thank you very much, Apopka. 5-4 Marianna lead. Taking the lead here in the bottom of the third on the Trayshawn Collins run. Couple of base runners on. Braxton and Foster. There's a base hit for Castleberry. Foster will come in and score. Broxton is told to go home as well. Makes the turn, heads to the house. It's a 3-run Marianna lead. So the Castleberry single brings in a pair. Broxton and Foster will score. Luke Thomas coming to the plate. And Steven Stewart moves to the on-deck circle. That is the third run in the third inning for Marianna. And still nobody out for Luke Thomas.
27, Luke Thomas.
Thomas wrapped into the 4-3 in the first. Castleberry at first. Luke Thomas batting here in the third. Steven Stewart moving to the on-deck circle. Nobody's gone. 3 runs have plated. West Seminole got 3 runs in the first. Brought in a run in the second. Scoreless in the third. Marianna a run in the first. 3 runs in the second. And thus far 3 in the third. Luke Thomas trying to get Castleberry, who is now at second, on the house. You get a limit of 7 in an inning, however, unless it's the last inning. 6th inning, there is no limit. Score as many as you would like as it is fouled out of play, which is interesting. If you make it to the 6th, regardless of how many runs you might be down, you got a chance to come back. And in the game of baseball, you will see some really odd things happen. I mentioned with softball, but earlier in the day, the fact that I saw a junior college softball game that 16 runs scored with 2 outs. There's a base hit for Luke Thomas. Speedster Castleberry coming on to the house. Meanwhile, Thomas will go to second. He's on his way to third. He'll put on the brakes there. Does it via the slide. And Marianna's got another run on the Luke Thomas shot.
Off the bat, number 20, Stephen Stewart.
It is now an 8-4 advantage, Marianna. As Stephen Stewart bats Ben Proctor to the on-deck circle. Well, let me say hello to the folks in Marianna. Clay Wells, rec director there in the city of Marianna. Got to say hi to Russell Register. Met with Russell and gang, Clint and Mike, about 3 or 4 days back. West Seminole, well, they really played a big role in the expansion of our coverage of Dixie Youth Baseball. In the early years, West Seminole very much responsible for having us come do tournaments. As a matter of fact, the first tournament we ever did for Dixie Youth Baseball was in Florida, in Paxton. It was a pitch machine tournament. And that began to open the door, and the people at West Seminole kind of kicked the door open by getting us at other locations. Matter of fact, I recall a year following them to Memphis, Tennessee, where they played in some postseason event. I can't recall now what it was, but it was representatives of a variety of youth sport leagues. Trickle down the third base line by Stewart. In from third will come Thomas Stewart with an infield RBI single.
Now at the bat, number 21,
And the 5th
Ben
run in the
Proctor.
third is plated as Ben Proctor comes to the plate. Proctor with a single and a run scored in the second. 5 runs have plated. There's a base runner at first. Proctor stepping into the box. There is a 7-run limit. Toss gets beyond Davidson. And Davidson kind of slides awkwardly trying to retrieve, able to get to the baseball, but did take a little bit of an awkward slide. Stewart will go to second now in scoring position for Ben Proctor. That is a fair ball. Traveled down the line in foul and then just bounced back into fair territory. Hamburg picked it up, stepped on the bag, got the out. Stewart goes to third. But that looked definitively foul, and then all of a sudden it took a left turn and rolled into fair territory. Hamburg able to get to it, step on the bag, and out goes Proctor. Well, Stewart gets to third. 334-488-1385 to send shout-outs. If you haven't already liked us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, especially Facebook, then we need you to. We got a goal. And it's not just about the goal. Of course, that's part of it, trying to get to 10,000 likes. But it's also to keep you updated. Scores, schedules, so much more. Shot up the middle. That is a base hit for Bryce Mitchell. Stewart will come in and score. Mitchell holding up at first, a single that's brought in another Marianna run.
Off the bat, number 25, Jackson Kent.
Sixth run of the inning. It is the 10th run of the game for Marianna. Now a 10-4 lead here in the bottom of the third. Jackson Kent with one away. Kent with an RBI single, scored a run as well in the second inning. If Mitchell comes in, Marianna doesn't have to get 3 outs, nor does West Seminole have to get Marianna out 3 times. 7 runs, the limit. With the pitch, runner goes. Mitchell is in scoring position at second. And I would think the other aspect of this game that has especially West Seminole concerned being down by 6, and that is the time limit. We're not that far away from 90 minutes of baseball in this one. Wrap towards third. It will slide underneath the mid of Wyatt Christopher. Going to third is Mitchell. Jackson Kent safely at first.
Now the bat, number 5, Landon Cornelius.
Runners on the corners for Landon Cornelius. So Colorado's on the edge of their seat. As Landon Cornelius comes to the plate. He struck out in the second, batting here in the third. Swung on and missed. Meanwhile, Kent goes to second, but more importantly for Marianna, Mitchell will come in and score the 7th run of the inning. So the question is, well, now the official saying it was fouled off. So apparently Cornelius got a piece of it, and runners will have to go back. So scratch the run off the board for Mitchell. He will go back to third. Kent will go back to first. And it's popped up over the head of Smith at shortstop. Mitchell will indeed come in and score. Throw going to second will not get Kent. Cornelius getting the RBI single. And now on his way to third. Kent, the throw not in time, trying to spin and put the tag on Kent was Christopher. But all of that irrelevant because 7 runs are plated here in the third. And that's the max. We came into the third tied at 4. We leave the bottom of the third with Marianna up by 7. To the fourth we go. Christopher Davidson and Hamburg after the break.
Southern to serve to begin this one. He's got running room. Infield kicks it in. 40. Got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone.
Watch right here on JockJive.com.
Mosley now in play of the game. Well, she's been the head coach, but she's done her part for the season. We enter the top of the fourth. Wyatt Christopher starting things off for West Seminole. Chase Davidson, Michael Hamburg, due up in the inning two. We are up against a time limit. There's a limit of an hour 30 per contest. Of course, there are certain stipulations that override the time limit, but in this particular case, I don't think we've got anything in place. Everybody's batted, so that's one of the things that could override the time limit. High fly ball, Wyatt Christopher in, will drop into center field, and a leadoff base hit for Wyatt Christopher to begin the West Seminole fourth. More shout-outs. This one to Landon Cornelius, number 5 of Marianna. Marianna, you rock, man. Love Mom and Auntie Danielle. Way to go, Demore boys. Aunt Jamie, Uncle Will, and the girls are cheering for you. Wyatt Christopher starting things off with a base hit for West Seminole as Chase Davidson comes to the plate. Davidson struck out in the first, batting here in the fourth. On your very own DVD and minigame broadcast during this year's Florida DYB AA Machine Pitch State Tournament. Simply email info@JockJive.com and we'll get the process started. DVDs, 10 per game plus shipping and handling. That's info@JockJive.com. Well, we had a 9 a.m. start to today. Tomorrow's baseball begins at 10. Swing and a miss by Davidson. And tagged out going to third, Wyatt Christopher. He had gotten to second on a prior pitch and then tried to go to third, tagged out. On the throwdown from Jackson Kent, Ben Proctor able to lay the tag on Christopher. And the base is cleared, one away for Chase Davidson. Couple of strikes on Davidson. Michael Hamburg to the on-deck circle. (11-4) Marianna in the fourth. And Davidson with a swing and miss goes down for out number 2.
Now at the bat, number 7, Michael Hamburg.
Michael Hamburg with a single, a stolen base, got stranded at third in the first. Batting here in the fourth with nobody aboard and 2 gone. Seven-run Marianna lead in the fourth. When you get to the bottom part of the inning, which again, if you are Marianna and if you are paying attention to the clock, you might want to take lots of pitches and take your time, walk into the plate and step out of the box and try to get that time limit implemented. I know going into the top of the fourth, we were 17 minutes away from the time limit. Fifth pitch to Hamburg. Kingston, Livernois awaits. Swing, a miss. Out goes Hamburg. And despite the base hit, it turns into a 3-up, 3-down, top of the fourth. Nobody scores for West Seminole. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Bottom part of the order, White, Mitchell, and Collins. The 10, 11, and 12 spots due up for Marianna. It's an 11-4 Marianna lead here on JockJive.com.
Southern to serve to begin this with the Giant. He's got running room. Infield kicks it in. 40. Got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone.
Watch right here on JockJive.com.
Mosley now is playing the game. Well, she's been the head coach, but she's done her part for the season.
Bottom of the fourth, Tyler White starting things off for Marianna. Garrison Mitchell, Trayshawn Collins in an 11-4 contest. Going into the bottom part of the inning, there was 11 minutes left on the time clock. And they probably took up about 3. So I'm thinking we're around 8 minutes or so left. So about 8 to play. And Marianna, if they were aware of the clock, as White rolls it slowly over towards third, charging in Christopher. He won't be able to get to it. And White will get on with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the fourth. Of course, the other thing, if you're not looking at time limits, if Marianna scores 3, you close it out in the fourth. As the run rule is 15 after 3 and 10 after 4. So a couple of things working to the advantage of Marianna currently, the clock and the score. As Tyler White will take second on the pitch to Garrison Mitchell. Marianna trying to improve to 1-1 in pool play. West Seminole trying to avoid an 0-2 start. Swing and a miss by Mitchell. It would be difficult to get into bracket play with 2 losses. Not impossible. It obviously depends on what everybody else is doing, but got to be tough to get in with 2 losses. Another swing and a miss by Mitchell. Mitchell, a strikeout victim in the second. Trayshawn Collins is on deck. West Seminole came out with guns blazing. 3 runs in the first. There's a silent shot into right field. Garrison Mitchell has scored Tyler White. It's an RBI single. Meanwhile, on his way towards second, Garrison Mitchell, he'll put on the brakes there. As the Marianna lead goes to 8, it's a 12-4 game. And now the potential game-ending run comes to the plate.
Number 3, Trayshawn Collins.
Collins with a single and a run scored in the third. Batting here in the fourth. And we're having to change the headgear for Garrison Mitchell. He said, Coach, my head's rattling around like a BB in a boxcar. So they got another helmet that fits a little better for Mitchell. I don't know if he said that or not. I'm just, speculating. Swing and a miss by Collins. Goes back to the screen. Mitchell will go to third. Keaton Foster, top of the order, awaits on deck. Well, and to be perfectly honest, he probably did not use BB in a boxcar language. That's old school. My age old. Rolled out in front of the plate. Collins, infield single that brings in Mitchell. Meanwhile, to second goes Collins. Nobody watching, retrieving is Gentile, and coming in to score, Collins, and that'll end the game. The lead goes to 10. We are in the fourth, and the 10-run rule, I would believe, is implemented. Let's see. The officials haven't called it, but Marianna's now on top by 10, and we are in the fourth. And that is the ball game. So Marianna planning a total of 7 runs in the third, get 3 runs in the fourth, turn a 4-4 game after 2 into the run rule after 4. It is a 14-4 victory that belongs to Marianna. And Marianna will improve in pool play to 1-1. West Seminole will drop to 0-2. One more game on Field 4, Elksfield, Lake Placid, and South Sumter. It's 34 minutes from now. See you then. Thanks for watching. Marianna wins at 14-4. I'm Robert Williamson for JockJive.